Welcome back to the Daily Journal. So, NASDAQ, Monday, 2 a.m. Let's have a look. So, going into the session, I would have loved to have traded that. Had that been the 2 a.m. power of 3, I would have been all over that. But unfortunately, that happened overnight in the Asian session. But building bias, we had swept out the previous week low. And from that, then we had a change in state of delivery by closing above that. So my bias is to the upside, but of course, that's where I would have loved to have got involved. That being said, going into the 2 a.m. session, we can see that these highs have not yet been taken out. In fact, it's left behind relative highs. So let's see, now that we've got a clean high time frame drawn liquidity, if the 50-minute has anything for us. So with that 4-hour fair value gap that we noticed over here, right? I didn't fill that in, but it was there. You can refine that down to the 50-minute charts, 50-minute fair value gap, sorry. And that's what you love to see. You got relative highs as well as inducements below this 50-minute fair value gap. So I'll just remove that to clean up the charts. We know we've got a clean draw liquidity above us, both with liquidity as well as inefficiency. So going into the 2 a.m., we can expect to have continuation to take out these highs and potentially a reversal from that point going into the London session. So with price leaving these relative highs behind, we are framing longs. And so we want to see liquidity swept, which we've got there once. Okay, that's once in liquidity. We also inside this fair value gap. And there's a second sweep potentially going on there. But we'll drop down to the 1 minute because now the 50-minute liquidity has been hit. And it's the start of the 2 a.m. open. So I'm just going to include the 50-minute charts, and then I'll just remove that 4-hour candle. So we just got one there so we can look at the open, right? Because we're trading with the expectation that this 4-hour candle is going to expand. Not this one, sorry. This candle here. Okay, and we're looking for a 15-minute swing low to form. So there is that 15-minute liquidity. We've now got a second set of liquidity at lower time frame, and as my model requires two sweeps, high time frame and lower time frame. So we've got that, but now we need to see a close above the candles that preceded the sweep. So this swing points over here that delivered the manipulation, that's what we're looking for. So at this point, if we come and sweep out these lows, that's fine. This will become the points I use for change state delivery. Okay, so we've swept this liquidity, this swing low. So let's just check if ES and ES has not. Oh yeah, so there's a close above. There's your change in state of delivery. It's probably a little clean on the 3 minute. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that's a little clean on the 3 minutes. In fact, you would have got your, well, there we go. So this candle would have been your close confirmation. And once you got the closure, you could just enter. This can be your protected low, and the reason being is that price has already tapped into this wick over here as an inefficiency and close above that. So with this being closed above, you don't expect these lows, and I don't expect, since this candle is already traded down into this wick, for the most part, you're going to find that this wick will remain safe. If anything, you'll come down to the 0.5 of this wick to rebalance this inefficiency, and you've also got the opening level of the 4-hour chart, 4-hour candle, which should act as support. If it starts closing below the midpoint of this wick and below this, you're probably going to take out these lows and your bias is wrong. So you might as well just calculate your risk from that point. So trading to those relative highs, now 3.6 hour trade. And of course, as always, we confirm the accumulation side of the market maker model. And what you can find, or what you see, is that swing points with that 50-minute chart, which is lovely. So let's see how the rest of this delivers, and just straight to draw liquidity. Let's also have a look at the projection and look how that lines up perfectly with the drawn liquidity. Let's see if it gets up to the full extension, and it does. Fantastic. So there's a beautiful trade with the 2 a.m. continuation, and that's all you need. Cheers.